results. His intentions before the AMAC APC executive to contest for the Abuja Municipal Area Council chairmanship position, promising to ensure an open door and all-inclusive policy. Aisha Ubali reports that the visit to the secretariat is to also seek political counsel.
The smile that is a trademark of a humanitarian and a grassroots politician is a typical characteristic of Abdul Karim Babake Bello as he revealed his intentions before friends, party executive and supporters to join the AMAC chairmanship race in the upcoming election. Harping on health, gender equality, open door policy, inclusivity and people-oriented leadership style, which he intends to bring on board.
Our government will not be carried with any sense of sentiment, whether tribalism or religion. It's going to be government for all, because we have different programs that we'll be doing quarterly in office to bring people together. We are going to be closing the huge gap between the masses and the government. So that's why we are going to run a government of all inclusiveness based on our arrangement and involvement with the people from different quarters.
In view of his ideals and wide consultations with party stakeholders, which bettered the desire to run in the political race, the Babake team believe he will be bringing something unique on board.
He's a practical, nice person right from time. So we know him, and we know he's not going to disappoint the masses. And he's a man of his words, right here, as I rightly said. He stick to whatever he said, and he's going to do it. He's a man that talk and do.
Meanwhile, the APC has advised the aspirant to work with the party constitution, as the party is determined to ensure and deliver a free, fair and credible primaries and election.
What is more important and what is the ultimate in all of this is the political party, which is the All Progressive Congress. We are united in one force, and I can assure you that we are going to win the next election of chairmanship of Abuja Municipal Area Council. No doubt about that.
Among the 7-point agenda is health, security, women and youth empowerment. In Abuja, Aisha Ubali, NTA News.
Now to education. To equip students with versatility in various fields of human endeavor, the FCT Education Resource Center has organized the 2025 Career Day and exhibition. This event aims to provide information and certain careers that will enhance their proficiency and self-reliance in life. Ramutu Abdullahi has more.
Today, it is common to see many students showing little interest in professions such as teaching or farming due to their limited knowledge and negative perceptions of these fields. However, these professions can be game changers for many individuals. For instance, James Kuta, a school principal and teacher, is here to discuss the importance of agriculture and processing. He has successfully integrated both professions, achieving tremendous success in each. He noted that teaching provides him with the flexibility to pursue other ventures, while agriculture ensures food sufficiency.
For example, you can use condemned cement bag, empty one, put sand in it, and plant your yam. It's so easy. And you have no tools, and then you harvest easily. You get it? So there are so many modern techniques in farming that you don't need to spend much, you don't need to put much energy, and you still get what you want.
Abdurrahim Imam, a computer scientist, also enlightened the students about artificial intelligence, a tool utilized across diverse sectors to enhance productivity.
And hopefully I could convince them to be the future of Nigeria and broaden our tech field in this country.
Director of the FCT Education Resource Center, Dr. Nimat Dawood Abdurrahim, stated that the center will continue to offer essential academic services to schools and the public.
Careers that are focused on entrepreneurship, where people can operate on their own without waiting for the government job. Especially like this year, we are talking about, we brought photography as a profession. We brought artificial intelligence professional. We also brought catering services, fashion designers, even shoemakers and all that as a profession.
So the important thing is to give them all the information available about a particular career, the advantages and disadvantages. When a child knows this, then he will be able to pick a subject and a career that will give him job satisfaction.
If I had a chance, I'd study teaching. I'd love to be a teacher.
Why?
The idea of imparting knowledge in another person, the feeling you get after you've accomplished something, you've taught someone something, the feeling is wonderful. I'd love to feel that.
I want to be a farmer because without farming, nobody can survive.
With about 50 schools invited to participate in this year's FCT Career Day and exhibition, a significant takeaway for the students is the importance of engaging in multiple vocations to achieve self-sufficiency and reliance. Ramatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
Subscribers of the Mark Garden City property located at Karish were full of appreciation as they took possession of their allocations. Serafina Okon Umekwe reports that the project, which began a few years ago, is to ease the burden of housing deficits, especially for low-income earners without mortgaging their future.
I want to use this avenue to thank Domac Garden City for this opportunity.
The amazing journey to becoming a landlord or a house owner begins with acquisition of a plot of land with Domac Group. The pilot copy began with the concept of saving the sum of 500 naira daily payment to subscribe for 3 years, and truly today has brought hope to the least income earner in phase of rising cost of rents in Abuja.
Today I've completed my payment, both infrastructure payment, I've done that, and as you can see, we've come to see our land physically, and I thank God that I've also collected my plot number and beacon number.
While the indigents of Kurapi and Kwatarima communities are happy over the development, say proximity-wise their community is seated on the road corridors of FCT. To this end, appealed for synergy between Minister of the Federal Capital Territory Nyesom Wike and the government of Nasarawa State for prompt development of infrastructure and other basic amenities such as schools, electricity, good road networks, and primary health care centers.
It's a good development because it's good to encourage places like this to develop and catch up with the city center. But the experience on the way, the road actually was the issue. But then there are promises already that will be taken care of.
We, as a community, we are quite behind him with this development in this place. And I'm also made to understand even the state government is in support of this development.
I pray to Almighty Allah to give Doma Group the capacity and the power to deliver this project. And I believe Korape in particular under Karshi local government is a peaceful place. Nasarawa State Engineer A.S.L. and the entire people of Nasarawa State to give their own support, because this is not just a community, it's a city.
For the president of Domac Garden City, Kingsley Mike Azonobi assured subscribers of due diligence and genuine locations. Also noted that as a leading housing developer in Nigeria, the vision is set to closing the huge housing deficit gaps for all citizens.
5 years ago at 350, it's now sold at 1.6 million. And I'm happy today that I'm handing over this land to these Nigerians. They never believe it's possible. And that is the dream of Doma Group.
Beautiful plot of land. I love the views, and I'm super excited to be part of the Garden City initiative.
With the increase in population in the FCT and exorbitant rents, residents, especially low-income earners, have been advised to take advantage of the offer to own properties with the group because of its flexible payment plan. In Abuja, Serafina Okon, NTA News.
The federal government has declared Thursday, the 1st of May 2025 as public holiday to mark this year's Workers' Day celebrations. Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who made the announcement in a statement, praised Nigerian workers for their diligence and sacrifice. Describing their efforts as the bedrock of national greatness, he emphasized the importance of peace, innovation, and productivity in driving economic growth and national development. The minister reaffirmed the government's commitment to the security of life and property and urged citizens to keep hope alive under President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. You're watching the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Time now for a break. More reports when we return. Do stay with us.
I am Oluremi Tinubu, the global and national Stop TB champion. Many people have asked why I've chosen to champion the fight against a disease like tuberculosis. My reason stems from a deep personal experience. I once had a friend who unfortunately fell ill and concealed the nature of his sickness until it was too late. Eventually, after he passed, we discovered he had tuberculosis. Sadly, due to the stigma and discrimination surrounding the disease, he would not speak up or seek for help. His death was a painful reminder that we could have intervened and saved a life if only we had known earlier. Tuberculosis is an airborne disease that primarily affects the lungs, but can also impact other parts of the body. Being airborne means anyone, regardless of their social economic status, can contract it. In Nigeria, one person dies of TB-related illness every 7 minutes, amounting to 206 deaths every day. Globally, one person succumbs to TB every 25 seconds, which is a staggering 3,456 lives lost daily. These deaths are entirely preventable because TB is curable if detected and treated early. If you or someone you know has been coughing for 2 weeks or more, coughing up blood, experiencing night sweats, or losing weight drastically, it might be TB. Please visit the nearest government hospital or primary health care center for proper diagnosis and treatment. TB treatment is free in all government and some private health facilities. Let us also remember not to stigmatize or discriminate against TB patients or those who have been treated for TB. Individuals who have been cured of TB cannot infect others. I call on all stakeholders, especially the private sector, to join us in the fight to end TB in Nigeria. Together, we can make a difference. Remember, TB anywhere is TB everywhere. End TB by 2030. Yes, we can.
Instead of it to just waka majestically, as on the board and talk camp, pass this pedestrian wall, cross gently, go to the other side, begin your shakara, they go your office. You say no. Now to the road, gitty, like antelope where they pursue rabbits for inside forest.
Non-adherence to the use of pedestrian bridges in focus this week on NTA Channel 5 Abuja's Pidgin English Road Safety Enlightenment Program, Drive JJ. Join the only driver when they drive for television, Odirogboru Arutiri, on Friday, 11:30 a.m. Try hook up.
Good evening. Glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
We celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news.
On the news at 7.
The
Unity Station, NTA Channel 5.
Abuja would say have a lovely day.
Thank you for staying tuned. Now, as the rainy season approaches, the Federal Capital Territory is once again facing the likely threat of flooding, with memories of past disasters still fresh in the minds of residents, especially those in prone locations. But are the authorities stepping up early warning systems and community sensitization as part of mitigation efforts to reduce the risks? Well, our correspondent, Onotu Yakubu, brings us insights on the reality of things.
Horrible and life-consuming sights such as these are the resultant consequences of man's negative action and impact on the environment. Flood, a force of nature capable of inscribing its messages on lives and property without negotiation. This year's rainy season is gradually teeing off, and in 2 weeks' time, based on NIMET's forecast, would reach an intense peak of above-average rainfall. To mitigate the impact of accompanying flooding in the FCT, activation of early warning systems is key. But how much of that proactiveness have industry stakeholders seen this season?
It's not the starting that we're talking about, but how is it coming? And even now, you can see that there are a lot of predictions about storms. So we need to really get prepared for these storms and also get prepared for windstorms and other rainstorms. So all these ones, I haven't seen anything in the FCT. Unlike before, whereby by this time around, the stakeholders must have gotten and prepared and dust all their response plans to ensure that they are only waiting for the eventuality to happen.
Hydrological Services foresight and predictions have pinned Amak and Gwagwalada for high probable flooding this season, with a couple of isolated locations in other area councils of the territory likely to record storm waters and flash flood. With the aid of these, the FCT Emergency Management Department says its senses are heightened towards these high-risk areas to champion sensitization campaigns through schools, markets, and local community vanguards.
In the past, we used to have divers, especially where you have big flood, and we used to have divers. So what we need to do now is to increase our presence in every local government or in every community that we know there's going to be flood. We are going to make sure that our presence is fair.
Those that are within the floodplain area should go to the higher ground. And if you are caught up in the farm, don't say, let me try, because you can't underrate the power of water. All these are things that we normally tell the communities living in riverine areas, such as Yaba, for instance.
While experts re-echoed the critical role of indiscriminate solid waste disposal and its inherent dangers through flooding, emergency managers believe that it is not just about response, but preparations and awareness. In Abuja, Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
601 impounded motorcycles have been crushed by the Directorate of Road Traffic Services, DRTS, in Abuja. Mandate Secretary for Transportation, Chinedu Elechi, says the exercise is to serve as a deterrent to other motorcyclists who violate FCT traffic rules and regulations. Hawa Gimba has details.
The crushing of these impounded motorcycles by the Directorate of Road Traffic Services is the first in 2025. The FCT Mandate Secretary for Transportation, Chinedu Elechi, in company of representative of the FCT Police Commissioner and the Directorate of Road Traffic Services, Abdulatif Bello,
were on ground to monitor the exercise. The Transportation Secretary says the administration will not hesitate to clamp down on any erring motorcycle operators who violate the extant traffic rules and regulations within the capital city.
Both as an enforcement arm of the government and for the security. So what we do is to try as much as possible to enforce the regulation. And for good measure, it's not to punish anybody, it is the law and it's being made. So what we do is we'll continue to put more men on the street.
Again, using this medium to send messages to those who are still, investing in this line of business to think twice, because we will continue to crush, motorcycles that are already forbidden.
The motorcycles, we can't fold our hands because they are the people they use to commit crimes. So it was based on that. The ministers is always emphasizing that you don't want to see any motorcycles within the restricted area.
According to the FCT Transportation Master Plan, motorcycle operations within the city center and the expressways remain banned. The tax team, however, maintained that the exercise will be sustained to ensure sanity on FCT roads. Hawagimba, NTA News.
And that report concludes our package for 1 p.m. We thank you for watching. We have more reports at 7. For now, good afternoon.